I want to acknowledge how people are influenced by content. I did this a little bit because of the whole Rocky Balboa thing, maybe back in like high school or college, but it was kind of like.
All right. So Will was asking about GTMO, Get the Message Out, which is like, it's a name for an agency. The agency is. Got my second client yesterday. So
Boom.
I won't say who it
Congrats.
is. But you and I and Tony were discussing this, or I asked you a question like how much ChatGPT is saying to do this. It feels fine. I did this. I sent the price, and literally the next question was, when can we meet? And I was like, awesome. Now, what do you think I'm going to do for this person? Overperform.
Of course.
Run a number that I did not feel. Tony's, if he's listening now, I did not put the word fair into my negotiation tactics with AI. I said, what is this worth? And it told me an insane number that I didn't feel comfortable with.
Yeah. So I remember that you don't have to say it. You don't have to say it here, but that number range, was it in that ChatGPT number range?
Yes. The bottom of the range.
I was going to ask, was it in the competitive part of that range?
I didn't feel confident in putting. So that's what I'm saying. Is someone's like, charge more. So you have to feel like it's worth that. I didn't feel like it was worth that.
But here, the thing is, same thing with us, like we talked about earlier in the show with selling packages. You just need more reps of like, and of course, this is going to deliver value and you're going to overperform for this owner, all that normal stuff. And that's just how you are. And of course, you're going to do that. Then you're going to get more confidence in sending that number or saying that number on a Zoom call. And then it's going to be a higher number over time. Yeah. Like Craig said, that I thought that was a Grant Cardone thing. Add a zero, like make a plan, make a plan, man. Let's add a zero to it.
Jamie Brindle is like a coach of freelancers. And he has this idea where he says the price should be where you can subcontract out all the work and still live on the margin. So what he's saying is if like you were a carpenter and someone wants to renovate the bathroom, you price that job at a rate where you could then you could sit there in a director's chair and just sit there like this, and you hire the plumber, the electrician, the contractor, the painter, and then your job, you live on the margin. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm there yet, but that's a great goal. Like, but here's what I need: reps and proof. And this person I'm going to over deliver for that. Whatever I charge them, they are going to be like, it's worth more. Great. And we'll raise the rate in a year after I've proved myself a dozen times over. But my job is I'm doing the things I like, which is creating video, audio, words, pictures, attention. I'm generating attention. I'm an attention engine.
Did that contract or agreement get signed yet? Did you put in an automatic renewal at a higher rate for the next year if they're satisfied?
But it terminates it at a year. So then it's a new agreement.
Okay.
I could have done that.
I'm just saying, like, it could be whatever, 10% more upon renewal if the owner, the practice owner, decides to renew for the second year. So it's like a built-in automatic pay bump. You don't even have to negotiate it. And if they want to end it the first year, they just don't renew it. But then there's no negotiation unless you didn't want to have it in there, because then if it overperforms, you could say, hey, it's 20% more or whatever.
Now so Will is asking, so with the good, what's the bad? So I had this no risk idea for APTA state chapters and academies. And I'll tell you about the idea in a second. It's pretty simple. I had 16 or 17 conversations with state chapters and academies. I went to a lot of board meetings, answered a lot of questions. I've had no yeses. No, one yes. Sorry, one yes, but nothing came of it because they just, we'll meet in 3 months with the board. So one yes.
But they said yes, but they still have, there's too many people to decide on.
We'll count them as a maybe.
Yeah.
But no yeses, no nos. Everyone's like, this feels like a good idea.
That's committees. That's why I told you to not sell to this population.
Now, the only reason I still think going to APTA state chapters and academies is they move slowly to hire you. But if you perform, they just never get rid of you. Because as long as you do what you promise, they're like, why would we get rid of the guy who's paying for himself and bringing us money? Nobody else on their staff, and I love staffs, nobody else on your staff, most of them, 97%, are not making you money. None. audit that. Who's making you money? There's a very small percentage of APT estate.
How many rainmakers? How many rainmakers you got?
Not even rainmakers, like people, you know, what's
ring and register.
They spend money. They cost money, and that's understood. They do a job, but none of them, no, I can't say none, very, very little, like 1% have staff that make you money. So now I'll say the idea again. If you're a state academy or chapter, you're like, oh man, we need like to be places. Where are we? How come we're not? Your members think you're not doing anything or they don't feel engaged because you're not giving them anything to engage with. And I'm pointing at a cell phone here. Videos, words, pictures, sounds. But you can't afford me. I'm not in the budget to put me on the staff. So I said, hey, here's what I'm going to do. I'll tell you how much it costs to hire me and my little staff of freelancers that work behind me. It's $2,000 a month. And I'll produce these 10 things every month that will lead to engagement, that will keep your members from leaving, and it will bring you margin. And I will not start making the thing. We'll treat it like a movie. I won't start making the stuff until I have made phone calls for free on your behalf to secure sponsorship to pay me and make you margin. And I said, I have it in writing. And it said it. Let's just get it out of the way. I go, here's the contract. Send it to your lawyer now. I want the no quickly because I'm moving on. This is a good idea.
But this is the problem with these committees is that they don't do a quick yes or no. That's hard. That's horrible.
So I've been selling this since
you're in purgatory. You're in purgatory with all these committees.
I got one no. I got one no from one state who was like, we here's why. Now here's why. If this was a good me going, you're not the right fit. We're nervous that you won't be able to hit the $24,000 minimum. Okay, then you've risked nothing. But we still feel like then we're waiting to start. So you value what I'm bringing and you want to start immediately, but you're nervous that I won't hit the minimum. Well, then let's sign the contract and I can start making calls today and I'll hit that minimum. Because just like Bruce Willis in Armageddon, I've never missed a depth. I'll hit that. I'll hit it.
Wait, so the role is you're doing calls for them for raising money for donations or what?
Yeah. I said I will go hunt. I will go eat what I. So let's say it's APT in New York. Hey, APT in New York. For me to create video podcasts and clips and all those things, it's $2,000 a month. Before I start making anything and set up your YouTube channel and your podcast, I'm going to call the 10 largest employers in New York State that hire PTs. And I'm going to go, hey, you guys need to hire PTs? Yeah. APT in New York now has a podcast, a YouTube channel, and all this social content. I'll put your logo on it and make sure that you have a pipeline of applicants coming to you. And they have line items. This is why I pick people who need to hire, because they spend money like crazy because they need to fund the industrial hiring complex. Right. So once I hit $24,000, I go, hey, everybody, I found the money to pay for me. I'll keep looking for money. But in the meantime, I'm going to start your podcast and your YouTube channel. Now I'll get to work promising what I just did to NYU or whoever. And everybody was like, sounds good, but I don't think you can do it. And I go, well, if I can't, then I've just done a bunch of phone calls for free and I just didn't hit the mark. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. You're not willing to put my money where my mouth is. That's a you problem. I can't change you problems. So I had one chapter be like, we want this, but can we start with a pilot? And I go, sure. Well, will you pay me for the pilot? And they were like, well, we're not going to.
Like, we were hoping it was a free pilot.
And I was like, oh, all right. Well, then what I wanted to say was, well, then I got some snow in my driveway. Can you send someone over? Can you want to drop by and just do some work for me while I do some work for you? Or how's this work?
Right.
Because that would be a douchebag. But trust me, when a lot of people are emailing you proper business etiquette, they're thinking, yeah. No, I don't feel like working for free since you're not working for free. Or what I should have done was recorded a bunch of stuff and just stamped a big watermark over the middle of it. But I didn't do that. I responded respectfully and was like, I don't understand what this pilot will prove. When people ask me for proof, I go, sure, go to YouTube, type Jimmy McKay. That's the last decade of my life. If you don't like that, you will hate working with me. If you don't love that, you're going to hate me. But keep in mind, I wasn't going to host their shows. I was going to teach their people how to host. This is how you scale something. I don't want to host your thing from Montana.
Right.
I want Montana people because that's real. And I was going to facilitate it. I also told them, you don't need me to create a YouTube channel or do any of these things. I'll give you the playbook. You're not going to run it. You're not going to do it.
So for all these chapters, they like even the president or whatever of each chapter can't just make any of these decisions on their own. It has to be a committee vote.
I think so. Yeah. That's what I've seen.
To me,
or that's an objection, Dave, that I have not overcome. So we have a bunch that are in the pipeline going, we're thinking about it. And I'm like, all right, here's the thing that I wouldn't say, but is true. If I find success somewhere else doing what I've just, like yesterday, I signed a new client. I signed 3 or 4 more of those. I'm not available for your chapter anymore. I made you an offer. You didn't answer. Too late. Find someone else. Google it. Google it. Now your solution is Google it.
These chapters are never going to come back to you.
I know. You're right.
They're never going to be like all of a sudden, oh, we see you're doing all this amazing new stuff too. And now we've reconsidered and also we've voted on it. And we hope that your offer is still valid and
what I should have done, and I will do going forward. I'm not making any new calls because if these 15 aren't going to make a decision, I'm not kicking more doors. Because I went by population. I went from the largest 15 down. So New York, California, Florida, Texas. What I should do is there should be an expiration date, and after that date, the price goes up. I didn't do that. I should have done that. It
still won't move them to make a committee vote on this.
It won't. But at that point, if someone ever does, it's the price where I'm like, this is the price you pay for waiting.
All right. So now the client that just signed with you is a private practice owner the other day?
Yeah, because they have money. Right. I understand the value is. Yeah, I understand this.
And it's usually one decision maker unless it's owned by a few PTs. Then it's 2, 3.
And this is how they evaluated me. I interacted with this person 15 times with no expectation of ever closing a deal. I was just, oh, cool, let's do stuff together. And after a while, they were like, how do we get that? I'm like, you call me and you hire me. That's it. But you're right.
Oh, so you did some content with them, just regular episodes in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Companies have hired me, like large multi-state practices have done that before. And they'll come in and hire me for like a short term, but not ongoing, which is fine. I don't think I wanted that. I think because after a while, everything I put out has to go through so many filters that it's like mayonnaise flavored ice cream. And then they look at me going, how come this doesn't do as well as your stuff? And I'm like, because the fun out of it. The fun is the first. The fun
like what? It like had to go like through their legal or whatever?
Yes, or branding, which I have no problem making things look uniform, but like even before that, where it's like, so let's use this to promote. And I was like, let's use this to teach. But we have a new clinic in wherever. Let's use this to get higher. Not going to do that. It needs to lead for the audience. We can smell a commercial from a mile away. See, they are trying to be strategic about content. And I'm like, no, This is about changing the temperature. This is about changing climate, not about making it rain over that house. So they were doing it for the wrong reasons, the wrong way. And I'm like, I've been in rooms going, you're paying me to give my opinion. This will not do the thing you think you want it to that fast. You're trying to get a girl to marry you, and you're like, let's wear the blue shirt today in 3rd grade, and you're going to marry her when you're 19. I'm like, that's not the lever to pull. The lever is be nice for the next 10 years. That's the lever to pull. And they're like, that takes too long. And I go, well, 10 years is going to expire. 10 years is going to pass anyway.
Since we're a little late or tight on time, I want to cover really quick why I'm eating raw eggs.
Yeah.
And I want to get your feedback on the video I just did the other day, where I read out or did a video about our 1-star Google review, which no one ever does ever.
I like it. I would do that. Okay,
I figured you would like it. So first,
why are you going full Rocky Balboa then?
Okay, so
your raw eggs dangerous?
I think so, but
they're very dangerous.
2 years ago, in his endless quest for velocity, Ryan Lambert came across an internet video citing the benefits of eating raw eggs. Lambert, a relief pitcher who's recently been cut from his college team, wanted to build muscle and increase his recovery rate. He decided to eat 30 raw eggs per day. He went from throwing, I don't know, high 80s or low 90s. Now he's throwing 100 miles an hour. He got signed by the Mets, and he is now in the Mets bullpen. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I started putting just one. I'm not doing 30. I'm a little crazy. I'm not that crazy. I started putting one raw egg into my protein smoothies after working out. You can't taste it. It's in, frozen fruit and all that.
It's not 100%.
I'm not saying this is, I mean, of course there might be risk of salmonella or whatever other thing. So
salmonella.
But the point is I want to acknowledge how people are influenced by content. I did this a little bit because of the whole Rocky Balboa thing, maybe back in like high school or college, but it was kind of like a temporary thing. But now for like the last 2 weeks, I'm adding raw eggs to my protein smoothie. I'm not saying anyone else watching or listening should do it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I'm acknowledging that I got persuaded by this piece of content, by this news blurb. And I'm thinking like, well, if it could help this guy, I guess it could help me in terms of more protein. It's faster. I could eat an egg. I could consume one egg faster than cooking it. And it's then it's larger. So it's like when you eat an egg that's already been cooked, it's more filling than a raw egg, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's hard. Like you got to chew the egg that you cook, and you got to break it. You got to break it down, so that your stomach, I think, feels fuller or whatever.
You're just doing egg shots.
Right.
You have a 1 in 20,000 chance, according to
1 in 20. 1 in 20,000
for salmonella. So I mean, just things to look out for: diarrhea, fever, cramps, and vomiting. If you don't see any of those, you're good.
What's the likelihood of getting struck by lightning? Is it 1 in a million? 1 in a million? Or a car accident? What's like the likelihood between car accident and getting sick or
1 in 1.2 million?
Yeah, so 20,000 is way more like.
Yeah. Odds of getting in a car accident, that has to be better than lightning.
1 in 500,000.
For every 1,000 miles you drive, your chances of getting into a car accident are 1 in 366.
All right, so that's a lot closer to salmonella from raw eggs.
That's from Reddit, though. So that could be from
never know. Yeah.
Reddit is.
All right, I'm not saying for anyone to do this. I'm just saying that piece of content influenced me to do it, and that since I'm trying to put out content and we talk about content and we were just talking about content, I wanted to bring that up. But now let's switch over. So I just put out. We have 2 1-star Google reviews on our business. So the rest are all 5-star reviews. So 97% of our reviews on Google are glowing 5-star reviews. One, I'll probably make a video about it some other time, but the first one was about that we charge a $350 cancellation fee for someone who booked 4 visits and canceled 2. So they late canceled 50% of their visits. We charge them the $350 late cancel fee, which they signed prior to starting with us. And that person wrote a 1-star Google review. And then this one was where we didn't communicate the allowable amount, the out-of-network cost per visit. And I said, this is why we prefer to be self-pay, because it's very clear and transparent and everyone knows exactly what's the dollar amount is going to be and all that. What are your thoughts on this? I know you said that you like the video.
Oh, of showing off your 1-star Google review?
Yeah.
It's great. And here's why, because I watched this a few days ago, because you were like, yeah, we screwed up. Like, how often does that happen? Like, hey, yeah, you're right. This person gave us a 1-star and it was deserved. We screwed up. For 1 out of every 20,000 eggs that I eat has salmonella, and 1 out of every have to get that experience. But here's what I'm going to do about it. Like, so my next video would be finding this person, and it would be how many love letters and how you're going to win them back over. That's what I would do. I would make this more like we got a 1-star Google review, and it was deserved because we dropped the ball. And my next step was we needed to find, I can't zoom in. We needed to find Beth, who gave the Google review. And we found out, we emailed her, nothing. We Googled her on LinkedIn, found her. We DM'd her, She said, "What's up?" A chink in the armor. We can get through. We can get through her. Beth, what do I need to do to make this up for you? You are right. I don't want you to take the Google review down, Beth. It's not what this is about. This is about making it right, because that's what we do. Beth, what's your favorite charity? I love dogs. Cha-ching, $100. ASPCA of New York. Beth, what do you like?
In Beth's name. Yeah.
Beth's name. Right. Like,
so in that video, the guy Sam wrote us the 1-star Google review, and then I immediately went to reading a 5-star review that was 16 hours. That was posted 16 hours before I recorded that. So that video was maybe not the best because I read the 1-star Google review, and then I figured I would hook some people by doing making this video, right? So I segued into, but we also got a 5-star review from Beth from 16 hours ago. So I took away a little bit of the mystique of it, but I wanted to bring the audience to hey, we have a ton of 5-star Google reviews.
Here's the thing. If I go to Amazon and I'm going to buy a thing and I see 100,000 5-star reviews and nothing else, no 4s, no 3s, no 2s, no 1s, shady. I don't buy it. It seems it's too perfect. It's too perfect.
Too good to be true.
Too good to be true. Nothing. No one had a problem. Your quality control is that good, or did you buy these? I'm telling you, these are knowledge scents. Something doesn't smell right, and I don't like it. I don't have to. And when someone goes, something didn't smell right, so you didn't buy it? Why? Didn't smell right. Did you look into it? No, I don't have time for that. I'm probably not going to find the answer, but didn't smell right. Moving on, I have other options. Didn't smell right. Smells like old eggs. Not going to eat them. Unless I cook them. I can't believe you're doing that. You're a real man. You do 30 eggs a day. What is it doing? 30 eggs a day. I eat 2. They're not raw, though. I scrambled those bad boys. We got 6 minutes left, so we'll front tease this. Tony's back on Thursday. We're going to talk about, this is way too much because I think this is brilliant, but we're going to talk about this. Wendys has a job offer that I am applying for. Chief Tasting Officer.
You're applying for it just to mess around?
I would eat Wendy's hamburgers for $100K a year. Yes, I would do that. 100,000%. This is in response to what, Dave? What is Wendy's doing this in response to?
Oh, the what was it, Burger King CEO with the cringe video where he was
Mickey D's.
Burger King? Oh, McDonald's. The McDonald's CEO eating the burger, and it was a cringe video. I sent it to you guys right away. This probably before it even blew up, and then when he said, what do you say? Amazing product, tasty product. Who said that?
I can't remember, but some point on social media, it would have been better if he called it a SKU, like an SKU, like a.
Right, it's basically this. Basically the same. Yeah.
Product. So anyway,
so now Wendy's is taking some of that lightning, right? Some of that online juju.
You understand how?
And they're trying to use it in this way, which is apparently, I guess, a real role.
Yes. Don't. And here's what I want to get. Here's what I want to get to, because when you scroll down, you're like, you're going to create content for us. You're going to eat burgers. You're going to become a content creator for them. You get paid to eat burgers, a custom Wendy's Chief Tasting Officer's email signature. I love the fact that they're just full. You can't kind of go a little tongue-in-cheek. A little tongue-in-cheek is douchey. Full tongue-in-cheek is Monty Python. They're going full Monty Python. They're gonna turn you into Jared from Subway without the creepy end part of his career.
But didn't it say somewhere at the top that it's mostly your local Wendy's? Did you see that?
Yeah, it's commute. Yeah, commute. Travel light, mostly to your local Wendy's and or the couch. They're gonna turn you into the face of Wendy. They're gonna turn you into the anti McDonald's CEO. That's the play.
Right, but wouldn't they want this person to eat at a whole bunch of different Wendy's locations?
They might. But this is them doing what I did, mimicking a real job offer and having to toot full tongue in cheek to everyone. Travel, down to the Wendy's. Colleen point, he barely nibbled that burger. That was the most awkward bite. Babies taking their first bites of food after formula take more normal bites than that, dude. So my point with this thing is, and this is a long, full episode, or this might be an extra episode. Why isn't your clinic doing this? Dave talking about Dave and concierge pain relief is one thing. That's the CEO talking about McDonald's is one thing. But where are the customers? How many people would this, that's why I asked this question, specifically for that number. How many new patients would you need in your practice? And I understand they're different in geography and type. My question is, how many new patients would you need to turn to someone and go, I'll give you $100,000. What do I got to do? Be the chief exercise officer of concierge pain relief. What does that mean? We're going to figure it out. Goal is, how do I turn you into real person doing real things? I don't know the answer, but no one does this. That's why this gets legs, is because no one does this. Wendys needs no meetings. Like, there likely was a meeting. Have you ever seen the TV show TMZ? Where it's just a bullpen, it's just a bunch of and that's what I envision the meeting at Wendys going, hey, McDonald's CEO's nuts and he has creepy human bites. What do we do? Hire a normal person. What? This is the most basic idea. Hire a normal person to eat, and we'll just, what are we going to do? Put them on content. What will they do in the content? Eat normally. And is that worth $100,000? Because the attention they will garner from it will lead to Frosties, burgers, and fries.
Wendy's corporate knows that this caught a whole bunch of buzz, however many views or shares or comments and engagement. It's a temporary thing. Right? It's something that's happening right now. If anything, maybe a week or two ago when it first happened would have been better, but this just came out.
Right. But that's the thing, is likely this person has like Tom Cruise Mission Impossible level clearance. That the person that runs Wendy's IMF, their Impossible Mission Force, they're like, you can do this is like Zappos Shoes saying, if you're in customer service, you can solve any problem that a customer brings you as long as it's less than $1,000. You have to justify it, like write it down. And if you just keep giving away money, we're going to fire you. But as long as you can justify it, yes, got it. Hey, I looked that person up. They spent $17,000 over the last decade, and they had a problem with their shoe, and it was their sister's wedding the next day. So I overnighted 3 pairs of shoes, a 9, a 10, and 11, to make sure one of them fit, because it was his sister's wedding. And I'm sure the CEO would go, great move. Because she's going to tell 100 people about Zappos shoes. And she's going to tell that story 50 times at the wedding. They sent me 3 pairs of shoes. This is Wendy's going, we need to put together a team who can do batshit crazy things to get attention, knowing that they might miss 8 out of 10 times. But if they hit 1 out of those 10 times, home run, pays for everything. Wendy's can do it for $100,000. I know a clinic can't. But a big group of clinics, why haven't they done it?
Wait, you're saying one clinic can't? What do you mean?
A standalone clinic with 3 clinicians is going to spend $100,000 to hire.
No. I thought you meant just like putting out the content that could make this type of an effect.
So at scale, so I asked this question, and of course, people get a little like, oh, you're just going to spend so much money on marketing, Jimmy? I was like, no, I'm trying to figure out what your $100,000. They're offering $100,000 salary. Maybe you turn to someone in a local community and you go, here's $10,000. What are you going to do? How many patients would that person have to bring in to justify the $10,000 spend? And let's say you hired the mayor, like quite literally, in my size town, if you hired the mayor, that's a coup. Everybody sees him. And you're like, what do you have to do? You just wear a t-shirt. Okay. Like there's a TV commercial about that. Little kids at like 8th grade graduation, and they're going across the stage, and it's like they're like reading the names. The principal's reading the names, and it's like Smith Tire and Auto, and everybody claps. And someone's like, why did they just call Benji Smith? We sold the naming rights. Oh, this is crazy. Is it though? All right.
So that commercial.
Thursday. Dave's got to go to work. He's probably got to pound a few more eggs before he gets out of here.
Hey, it's Dave Kittle. Are you a healthcare business owner or physical therapy practice owner who is looking to figure out your succession plan or exit strategy? We might be able to help. And in fact, we may be interested in acquiring your practice. If you're interested, you can reach out to me. Shoot me an email at dave@conciergepainrelief.com. That's DAVE@CONCIERGE painrelief.com, or you can call me at any time, 646-781-8884.